We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food? Like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
So we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door, tell your mama hungry.
Shop Velvet Online Women's Boutique to spice up your closet with trendy, unique looks. We have fashionable and chic looks at very affordable prices. Velvet Boutique offers free shipping all year long on all orders. Shop online at www.melvetboutique.com. That's www.melvetboutique.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. Shop Velvet Online Women's Boutique.
Sugar Chateau Desserts is a specialty bakery located in the Charlotte, North Carolina metro area. We will create delicious and one-of-a-kind treats for any occasion. Sugar Chateau is currently shipping cakes in a jar, offering a variety of different flavors in a single-serve container that can help you celebrate in accordance with social distancing. Place your orders today by calling 803-526-7895 or visiting sugarchateaudesserts.com.
Q Time is our classic Atlanta soul food restaurant located in the historic West End. Q Time Soul Food is a family business started by Fred and Christine Crenshaw. Come on in, relax, and sink your chops into our tantalizing, mouth-watering, distinctive soul food with a twist, the Q Time way. 1120 Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard, or call your order in at 404-758-2881. Do you miss your mama's cooking? Then come on down to Q Time, an Urban Passport member.
What's up? What's up? What's up? He caught me slipping. He caught me slipping. What a commercial. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. Welcome to Random Thoughts with DVP. I'm your host, DVP. See how they be doing me? I got to get me a better union. Today is the 15th of September. It's 2021. We making it do what we do. We're gonna start a little trouble here. Y'all know how we do things. But let me go on and get my little monologue in. Hey, if you get a chance, Lyle said he need the link. I don't know what happened to his. Maybe he was like me. He just forgot it.
I got him. So
what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about ignorance is bliss in our social circles. All right. But before we start that, I'm going to just say this, something I learned from people who I know or know of and trust and listen to. When you want to engage in a conversation, if you don't know what you're talking about, it's okay to engage with your mouth shut and listen and take in information and ask questions. See, I was in the military. I don't know everything, but when people want to talk about military and wars and stuff, if they ain't served, then they got they got a lot less credibility because they don't understand the process. So, when you get into the military or things like that, or even in the real business world, when you work for a corporation, the CEO don't tell you everything that's going on. You got a job to do. And as my favorite coach say, do your job. Don't worry about what everybody else doing. Don't even worry about why, because you're not the planner. So when people start talking about things that they have no knowledge of, it takes away from the conversation and it makes people just eliminate you. See, my man Iron runs this show. He produces and he does his thing. Now, I'm going to talk shit to Iron because we cool like that, even though we ain't never met. But what I can't do is tell him how to run that board because I know nothing about that board. So guess what? Whatever he decided to do, I just got to go with it because I don't have a clue. So what's up, Tanetta? What's up, Clemens? So this is what we got to start learning to do. It's okay. It's okay. The word that we hate most is ignorant. Ignorance just means you lack knowledge. It's okay to be ignorant and acknowledge it. When somebody calls you ignorant, it's not always an insult. Sometimes it is just fact. You don't know. So that means you're ignorant. I'm ignorant of how to run the board. Roy has tried to get me to learn because he thinks that I should know because I do a show. And there is a lot of merit to that. But with coronavirus, unless he can show me through cyber, it ain't going to happen. But I'm just saying all that to say is we got to learn to stay in our lane. And when you want to change lanes, it's just like driving. What do you do before you change lanes? You look and make sure that you got the right of way and you can do it safely and clearly. So when you want to talk about something that's outside your locus, which is span of control, get some knowledge first and then have the conversation. Don't just holler out stuff because it sounds good or because somebody said it. See, I made a post the other day. Not all, most news media doesn't lie to you. They just don't tell you the whole truth. They tell you stuff to pull at your heartstrings or your emotions, because some of them want you to think one way or the other. Very few are unbiased. And what you have to learn to do is pick news reporters. There's some news reporters who are actually great at what they do. Their station, but some of the reporters are really unbiased. And even if you like some of the ones who are biased, learn what they're biased about and whether their bias makes them not be honest. See, I like Rachel Maddow. As a matter of fact, I love to watch her show. She hates the former president. But she caught when he did something right, she mentioned it. And she would preface it by saying, as much as I hate to give him credit, so she could still be honest. But there are some who just never give you the other side of the story or the rest of the story. So when you listen to news media, when you want to talk about something, you quoting somebody, make sure you got the whole story. Because as we go through these trying times again, everybody want to tell you, and this is one of the things I hate, and this is mostly coming from Black people. Everybody want to keep making posts about what is Biden doing for Black people. Biden is the president of the United States. That's what he's supposed to protect. And if you're waiting for somebody to come be your savior, then you got it all confused. You don't understand how the system works. You complain about child support. You're complaining about reparations. You're complaining about property taxes. See, that's local government, but that's a whole nother story that y'all ain't ready for yet. But we're going to have that show too, because one of the things that we talked about earlier was knowing who the agent of change is. See, I'm going to give you another example because I like to give y'all examples so you can touch on it. If I don't like the way something is being run with the show, I got two people to go to, either Ira or Roy. That's it. For me to sit back and tell Trina that I don't like the way the show going, what can Trina change? Nothing. So why am I telling her? Just to waste time. See, let me just give y'all a better for instance. You know, 2 years ago when y'all decided y'all wanted to boycott the NFL because of police brutality, the NFL ain't got nothing to do with police brutality. Nothing. Nothing. They can stop doing overtime. They can stop doing kickoffs. They can start playing flag football. That ain't going to stop rogue cops. It won't. But what will stop rogue cops is elect a better sheriff. Sheriffs are elected positions. You get to vote for them. Elect better mayors. Mayors appoint police chiefs. So if you don't like the way policing is going in your area, your city, your town, that ain't at the White House. That's at the local level. But you so busy staying in another lane that you don't understand that you missed the whole point and you blaming the wrong person. See, again, if Aaron don't pay his rent this month, he can't blame me for that. That ain't my fault. But that's what he want to blame. Oh, well, DVP got a show. It's his fault. You know how stupid that sound? It sounded stupid that it did. So when y'all blaming people for something they got no responsibility over, that's how stupid y'all sound. Know who's responsible, know who the agent of change is, know how to affect change the right way. Me and Aaron and Roy, we can sit down and we can shoot the shit about whatever and make all the complaints that we want to. But guess what's going to happen at the end of the day? Nothing. Because ain't neither one of us in that position to make that change. All we did was vent. And venting is okay. But for us to then come out and be people of influence, and don't get me wrong, I've learned I don't take this lightly. I realize that I do have some influence with people. I have influence who I don't even know, which is why I try to speak the truth. And sometimes the truth ain't how I feel about something, but that doesn't mean it's not the truth. See, the truth is abortions are illegal in Texas. Do I think it's right? No. But guess what? It's still the law. It's a truth, whether I like it or not. When 45 was president, guess what? Whether I liked it or not, guess whose president he was? He was mine, because I'm an American. It was stupid for people to holler about he ain't my president. How ain't he your president if you live in the United States of America? He's still your president. What's up, Ernest? So it's dumb for you to say something that is just it's asinine. It ain't even ignorant. It's asinine. So, like it or not, if you're in America, you're an American. Biden is your president. If you're looking for him to do something specific for your race, for your neighborhood, then you too are stupid. It's not ignorant. That's stupidity. He ain't finna come put speed bumps up. He can't do none of that. Aaron complaining because the president because they won't put speed bumps on the street and people speeding through in the middle of the night. Well, Aaron would be stupid because the president don't put up speed bumps. What's up, Dewana? What's up, GC? What's up, Pat? So this is how we got to come to do that. Is there a difference between truth and law? Absolutely. Absolutely. The law in reality is black and white. The truth is, and this is where people say the truth is the truth. No, and I'm gonna tell you why I say no. The truth is what it is, your truth. Your truth may not be the truth. See, for instance, this is a true statement, and I'm paraphrasing, but Aaron is a Pittsburgh fan. He thinks Pittsburgh is a great team. That's his truth. Doesn't mean it's the truth. So truths come in different forms. So it depends on what we're talking about when we say what the truth is. Is it a personal truth? I could think black is the best color in the world. That is my truth. But what is the truth to the world? And that's what we have to know the difference. What's up, Jessica? Don't play with me. So, and I could say Jessica makes the best desserts. If that's my truth, that's my truth. But Ira might know another person who make desserts and say hers is the best. So they're not beliefs or thoughts. Those are truths because they're speaking their truth. And what we got to realize is we don't all have the same truths. See, somebody who's been, and that is their reality. No, I believe this. See, I believe something tastes better than something else. That's because I ain't compared them totally yet. But my truth is Burger King is better than McDonald's. But for people who like McDonald's, that's their truth. You can call them beliefs or thoughts, but it's still their truth because they're not lies. That's what they truly believe. That's their whole truth. So, but when we start talking about undeniable truth, see, I don't care how you feel about it. The president of the United States is Joe Biden. I don't care what you think about them. Stop the steal or none of that. That is the truth, no matter who you are, where you are, because that is not subjective to anything other than. Is the United States the greatest country? That's subjective truth, depending on who you are. People who come from overseas, they love this country because of the freedoms. People who over here, we complain because we ain't got freedom, because we've never been subjected to third world living. So we don't know how good we got it. So we're kind of spoiled. Because if you think you ain't got no freedom over here, go overseas, go to a third world country and realize third world countries got two classes of people, rich and poor. See, most of us are middle class. Most of us are lower middle class, which means if we go to a third world country, we're poor. Rich and poor. It's the only two classes they got. That's what makes us so different. There's only a few countries that have a total class system. That is a truth. So we have to look at our belief system, as Ernest is saying, but our beliefs still form a truth. See, I ain't gonna get into religion because that's a whole different thing, but that's a belief system, because if you can't prove it, then we're talking about belief, which is why, a lot of people gravitate towards science. Science likes to deal with facts. They don't deal with a lot of what ifs and what might be. So a lot of people, the truth is, well, based on evidence, we know dinosaurs lived. They got fossils, they got all this. We know that dinosaurs existed. That's the truth. They still ain't found a tomb of Jesus. And I ain't here to have a religious conversation with y'all. I'm just saying, when we start talking about what factual data do we have to back up our belief to make it a truth, that's what we got to do. So I just want to say that when you're going to have an argument, make sure you got something of substance to back it up with. Other than that, it's just your belief. I believe Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback ever. And let me rephrase that. I believe he's the greatest team leader ever. I'm gonna still stick with Marino as the greatest quarterback because Marino just had it all. But Marino never had a great team. But if I got one game, and I need one quarterback on my team, I like Patrick Mahomes, but Brady done proved that Brady gonna do what Brady do. And more times than not, Brady gonna win. That's my truth. See, somebody gonna sell me. Montana never lost in the Super Bowl. You right. Jordan never lost in the finals. You right. But they lost in the semifinals. Aha. See, we don't want to have that conversation because that's a whole nother different truth that we bring to the equation now. So Montana went to what, 4 Super Bowls? But how many times did he lose to Troy Aikman? How many times did he lose to Brett Favre? Whoever it was he lost to when he went winning. So he didn't make it to the big game. So if you don't make it, you can't lose. So lots of quarterbacks never lost in the Super Bowl. It's because they never got there. So we can't. So how do we balance those two out? How do we balance them out so that all things are equal? And see, that's one of the things when you're looking at the big picture, or whether or not you're just pushing a certain agenda. Because if I just want to push an agenda, I'm only going to use my qualifiers. My only qualifier is the Super Bowl. But to get to the Super Bowl, you got to get to the championship. In my mind, but you don't want to talk about the championship because your guy lost. A loss is a loss. There's first and there's everybody else at the end of the day. But anyway, that's what I want to. You don't know any athlete, right? You still are you still on Raphael Warnock, Jessica? I ain't even gonna mess with you today, but I just wanted to get that out there because I like having intelligent debate. For those of y'all who think I only want people who co-sign with me, understand, co-sign is cute, but it does me no good because now we're not exchanging information. I'm not learning anything from you because you're too busy co-signing what I say. I need some independent thought. The reason I like having the show with people on it is so that we can have a difference of opinion, so you can see the different aspects. Iron is a little younger. His views on something will resonate with some. I'm a little older. My views will resonate with some. When I have guests, their different views will resonate. But if we all agreeing on the same thing, we're only looking at 3 people. The 10 people who watching the show ain't getting nothing because they don't agree with all of us and we're agreeing on the same thing. Hey, Gary, I need for you to come to Random Thoughts with DVP, bro. Your comment's too small on my screen. Come to the show page. Come on over, Gary. And that's how I do things. So, and yes, I like to debate. And this is something I will tell you, and I will base this on life itself. This is my truth. when you're having a debate with somebody and they don't have any facts, you slave-minded, you this, the first thing they want to do is go to name calling because they ain't got no more facts. And that's it. See, when you get an opposing opinion, you should be able to defend your stance. And that's what I like to do. I like to be able to defend it because that's how you know it can withstand the test of time. But if it's just purely your emotion, you can't. So the next thing you want to do is you want to resort to name calling because that's all you got left. That's all you got left. And let me just say this, because I know one of y'all watching. Random Thoughts with DVP. I'm gonna put it up on the thing. I'm gonna take a break in a second. This is when we sit back and we debate, and somebody challenges my thought process. I'm not a parent like that. I ain't gonna say because I said so. When I give you guys things about the law, I tell you what the code section is. I don't have to like it. It's still illegal. I don't have to like it. That doesn't change the fact that it is a law. You know, case in point, the mayor of Atlanta says APD won't lock up for possession of marijuana. The mayor of Atlanta says APD won't evict people. As a matter of law, APD has never done evictions. That's a marshal's function. She has no control over that. Just because you're in the city of Atlanta, trust me, if you get pulled over by Fulton County Marshals, Fulton County PD, Fulton County Sheriff's Office, they will lock you up for possession of marijuana. She don't control them. So telling me what the mayor said means nothing. I don't work for her. She don't control that. And truth be told, the mayor hires a police chief, but she don't get to write no laws. Remember when she fired those guys for the taser incident with the college police? And I told y'all then it was a mistake because she didn't give them due process. Oh, she had to do it. She had to do it. She had to make a stand. And I told y'all I was going to cost y'all money who live in the city. Remember, look it up. Those guys been hired back. They got back pay. They got damages because she took away their due process. Should they have been suspended? Absolutely, based on their policy and procedure. But she didn't do that. She immediately terminated them. She didn't have the right to terminate them. She made. And
when they were brought back, they weren't suspended either, right?
Right, but they were initially terminated.
Right.
Had she gone through? Has she followed the process? The process is when there's a dirty cop or when you think somebody did something wrong, the first thing you do is take them off the street and put them on administrative duty. Well, we don't like administrative duty. One, because we don't know what it means. Administrative duty means you won't. Or even administrative leave, but they still getting paid. You only get paid on administrative leave if you have sick time or leave time. See, that's the caveat that we don't know. See, if you don't have no leave time built up, then you're not getting paid. Because if I do it, let's just say if I do it like y'all want, I put somebody on administrative leave and don't pay them. Well, if they get fired or whatever, all the leave time they had, they're going to get it anyway. So why not make them burn it while we investigating them? It's theirs.
Right. So if somebody has been with the force from, let's say, like a year, then they probably don't have a lot of time that they would put on an administrative leave or duty.
Depending on how much they take off. So the process is there for that. Let them burn that leave while you do your investigation. Let them burn it. Then there's something. If they ain't got it, then it is unpaid leave. But you can't call it that because if I put you on unpaid leave, I'm already punishing you before I did an investigation. There's laws against that. The Fair Labor Standards Act won't allow that to happen. But, you know, we get caught up in our emotions. We like the way things happen, and boom. When the retraction come back, it's a little small portion of the paper. When your taxes go up by $5 or $6, $7, when your property value, your taxes, all that go up because now they got to pay out a lawsuit. We never understand why. And that's why, because we get caught up with doing the emotionally right thing, even though it costs us financially. It's kind of like using a cheap mechanic. I can get tires for my car. I can get $25 tires, and I'm gonna buy some $25 tires every month. But I can afford that. But I can't afford to get me no $150 tires. Make that make sense? I buy $25 tires every month. That's over $250 for the year because I'm keep buying them, but they cheap. Whereas I could just get me some $150 tires and they'll last me 3 years. But sometimes our mentality won't grasp the bigger picture. So that's all I'm saying. If you want to debate with me, if you want to argue with me, if you want to challenge me on something, Have your facts ready, because I'm gonna come with mine. Because I try my best. I try my best not to talk about things that I don't know about. Which is why when people send me stuff, I would say, give me a week or two. Let me do some research. Or more importantly, let me find somebody who can come and talk about this, because this is not my area of expertise. And guess what? I'm okay with not being the guy who knows everything. It ain't that serious to me. I'd rather you get good information from the show versus what DVP think. Because sometimes, and I know y'all gonna have a tough time believing this, but there have been times I actually been wrong. And I've said it. I make mistakes. Shit happens to the best of us. All right, so with that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a quick break, then we're gonna come on, we're gonna get into the show, because we're gonna talk about we're gonna talk about ignorance is bliss. Because I want y'all to come out there. I want y'all to come out of that box. This is the world of we're in a society, we're in the informational stage of our society right now. If you want to know something, it ain't that hard to say it into your phone and get links. Ignorance is a choice. All right. So Iron, take me to a break, and we'll be right back, folks. Did you get that link, Gary?
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together, we can be the change.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
All right, and we're back. All right, so on my first stage of ignorance is bliss. Y'all know how I feel about GoFundMe and all these other things. They drive me bananas. Life insurance is not that expensive. It's just not. But it's one of them things that we don't like to talk about because we want to deny the truth that one day we're gonna die. I don't understand why that is such a hard truth for us to accept. And I know some of us are selfish, we accept it, but we want to die and we don't give a shit about none of our people, so we're gonna leave them with a burden. So with that being said, I don't have, I should have reached out to my attorney friend and have her here to talk about wills, because everybody should have a will. Again, they're not expensive. You can write a will out yourself. You can download a form and get it notarized. You can do one and email it to yourself and email it to somebody else. It ain't that hard, but wills are important, people. People die. So I want to use this first scenario. And this is actually a real life scenario. No names were, I took all the names out just because. And is it up yet? So I can read it. All right. A couple of
He's back now. So he's back. It was probably
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
So we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door, tell your mama hungry.
Shop Velvet Online Women's Boutique to spice up your closet with trendy, unique looks. We have fashionable and chic looks at very affordable prices. Velvet Boutique offers free shipping all year long on all orders. Shop online at www.melvetboutique.com. That's www.melvetboutique.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. Shop Velvet Online Women's Boutique.
All right, we back. Can y'all hear me now? All right. One, we're not gonna talk about my chickens, Jessica. We ain't going that route. Doug, can you hear me now? Jessica finna get blocked and defriended. I'm gonna have the squad sent over to your house and steal all your banana pudding. All right, I was talking about the will. If there's no will in place, the spouse controls everything. So even if y'all ain't on good terms or y'all are in a legal state of separation, which don't exist in Georgia, if something happens, your spouse gets to determine everything absent a will. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this will. Second, first, let's get life insurance so people ain't got to beg for money to pay you. Now, DVP believes in cremation. Cremations don't cost much. They don't cost much. A burial costs a lot of money. A plot, a casket, all the other stuff. But hey, I'm not going to get into that portion because that's more of a personal decision. I can't factually tell you which one is right or wrong. I can factually tell you which one is cheaper. And when I die, I don't need the money. My family needs the money. I want them to have it. I ain't that selfish. I know some of y'all don't care nothing about nobody and y'all let people pay for everything because you want this expensive funeral and all this other crap with it. Hey, man, that's your personal preference. I'm cool with that. I'm just stating obvious. I want you to have life insurance. If not, I definitely want you to get a will so that whatever it is you got that you think people are going to fight about, they ain't a fight about it because funerals bring that out in people. Everybody thinks there's money from other places. Everybody got all these other issues. I had a couple of deaths in the family, and everybody thought that the wealthy people should take care of this extravagant funeral because they wanted this family member to have one of these one of these shiny coffins with gold trim. But when asked what they were going to contribute to it, everybody got quiet. Because as long as you're spending my money or another family member's money, you got all these great aspirations of how we should show our respect for the dead, but you ain't got no money involved. And then when insurance came up, you want to get cut in on the insurance. And don't get me wrong. It's these are personal battles. But again, I'm gonna use my crew. If let's just say me, Iron, and Roy are related, and our cousin die. If me and Iron pay for the funeral and the cousin get $10,000 in life insurance, and now it comes back, that first 10 should go to me and Iron. Roy ain't put up nothing. So Roy shouldn't be saying, oh yeah, we can split this 3 ways. Roy, you ain't putting no money up. And it's crazy how that money from life insurances divides families even further, because they always want to discuss the outcome, but not the income. So me and Iron put up $7 grand a piece to get this extravagant funeral that we wanted, when you could have got a cremation for $3,500. But no, the other cousin think we should do all this. 15 grand. Me and Iron put in 75. Life insurance come back, we can get 10 back. Me and Iron agreed to split the 5. Roy all up in arms because he want his 3,300. He a cousin too. Why he can't get nothing? But he didn't put no money in. But he was the one with these big dreams. And that whole thing, that whole fight is so unnecessary. But that's that thing where, and I know we've all seen it, whether we've been on the receiving end or giving end, but we spending other people's money because they got it. I think it's mine to spend because it's for the family. But when money come in, it should be split evenly. But when it's time to pay the bills, use it for the rich people. What you got, bro?
I've just always thought that is just the most inappropriate and just weirdest thing to argue about in light of a death of a family member. I've never been able to rationalize like why we should argue over the money, you know, when a family member just died. That, to me, that's always been kind of just, I don't know, it carries a certain evilness to me.
But you know who it is that's arguing about the money. It's the one who ain't never got no money. But when the bills come, that's who the most quiet. And you know, like I said, that's just one thing. When I got hit with this scenario, see, now the father and the daughter ain't speaking because the father's upset, you know, and part of his reasoning with leaving all the jury in there is because he didn't want to have to split it between the kids, because all jury ain't created equal. And he feel like the daughter, who wasn't around when the mother was sick, who wasn't around much during the marriage, just popped up and she looking for some easy money to go pawn the jewelry. Whether she is or isn't, it ain't her call to make. Because again, legally, it's his call. But she ain't bought shit, so how does she think she get first dibs or something? And what if he wanted to go to their child, which is his right? I mean, you know, and I hate to separate kids in a marriage because in my world, they all become our kids. But legally speaking, in death, my children outrank the kids from Trina's kids. If I don't leave something in play, Trina gets to decide. So if she wants to give more to her kids than mine, then I'm kind of screwed. And I don't think she will. But again, I still have a will. I have an executor of my will. An executor is somebody who carries out your wishes. That's who you tell everything to, so that there is no confusion. Hey, this is what I want. I want this to go. I want this to go there. But like I said, that's just one of the things we don't like to talk about because we like to avoid death conversations like the plague. Because we don't know anybody who ever died, ever. All of our people live forever and ever and ever. And we never seen this ugly fight after death about money and finances of a dead person. Well, you got this, you don't need the money. You got this, you don't. I paid for shit. I do need my money back. Most of us don't budget to pay for somebody else's funeral because it ain't what we do. You should have insurance. And, you know, it ain't that expensive. It's really not. If you can afford to go to the club a weekend a month, you can afford insurance. You might not be able to afford $1 million policy. Get you one of them $10,000 policies. You can get some of these policies are less than $12 a month. If you belong to a bank, a credit union, or got car insurance, chances are you can get life insurance, and it'll be less than $20 a month for a better than decent policy. So that's all I'm gonna say on that. Now, as far as the ignorance is bliss in this age of information, and I'm so confused. I want to have a quick conversation about sex, because this came up in relationship to child support, but I don't want to get into that. That's a whole nother show. And this is where I'm gonna pick on my producer Iron the most, because he's the youngest. He's the youngest, so he get to be the first victim. But he's a good sport. And somebody made a comment, and I always see people make this comment, and I still think it's stupid. Iron, you ready, sir?
Let's go.
You on the hot seat. All right.
Let's see.
You on the hot seat. I need to send. I can't. Jessica too fast. I can't let her come to this show. I'm gonna assume. I'm gonna assume. I don't want you to give me an actual number, but I'm gonna assume in your life you had sex with more than 4 women. Would that be a fair assumption?
5.
Okay, so you had 5. Now, out of these 5, and again, I'm just assuming because I can't make none of these facts until Iron confirms them. Out of these 5 women that you had sex with, if we're speaking honestly, how many women did you have sex with that before you had sex, you said to yourself, I'm okay with her being the mother of my children? Be as honest as you can. We don't call names now because we don't want to hurt nobody's feelings.
2.
So, I get so tired of people saying you got to pick your children's parents better. Most of us don't have sex thinking about kids. I'm going to put that down in my fact column. Very few people plan the first child. How many children you got, Iron?
3.
The first, which one? Were any of them planned?
The second one was planned.
Right. Okay. But very rarely is the first child planned. It's just something that happens. And we all know how kids happen. We all know this. Ignorance is bliss. We all know this. Okay. But, Aaron, you're not sensitive, right? Did you?
Am I sensitive?
Right. You're not sensitive, right?
I wouldn't say so. I enjoy a nice cocktail and walk on the beach every now and then.
It was a trick question. He's not sensitive. So, in this sexual revolution, me included, I'm just older, so I like to use Iron for some of the stuff. In general, Iron, again, you the man on the spot, you in the hot seat. How long is it before you start having unprotected sex in general?
How long?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
A year, 6 months, 90 days, 3rd time, 5th time, after I love you.
I'm gonna try to at least give it 6 months.
Okay, so after 6 months, after 6 months, when the condom comes off, have you decided that you're okay with this woman being the mother of your child? Has that thought crossed your mind yet?
It did with my son, but those other times it did not cross my mind.
So the other 4 times it didn't cross, and so I get tired of people saying you got to pick the parents better, because that's BS. Most of us aren't thinking about having children when we're having sex. Even when we get to the unprotected stage, most people are not thinking about the end result. We're thinking about the fun times.
And to be honest, a lot of us brothers, as we start getting older, we gotta really seriously consider vasectomies.
But and that's why I started with you first. But as you get older, these things do become more of you think more about them. But when you're in your 20s, teenagers, this ain't part of now conversation. It ain't part of now thought process.
Yeah, I'm talking about the grown folks when I talk about that part.
When you get to my age, yes, I had a vasectomy. But if somebody would have told me something about having a vasectomy at 20 or 25, I'd have looked at them and laughed. But I didn't want no kids. So the
40th birthday.
Say it again.
I said it's gonna be my 40th birthday present.
Right. So but I didn't want no kids. So the simple solution for that would have been to get a vasectomy. But dudes have this philosophy about vasectomies that's total BS. And that's what it is, it's total BS. Okay, Rick says, don't pick a better parent, pick a better partner. And I get that, but that's what we do as we get older, because most of our sexual contacts, for most of us, listen, and I don't want to talk about the unicorns. Yeah, there's those rare breed of people that only have sex after marriage. That's not the norm. Let's be honest. Most of us have sex way before that, and we ain't as picky, and we don't think about all this extra stuff. So when we keep saying you got to, yeah, as you get older, you do learn to pick better, because you do start thinking long term. Most of us, when we start having sex, we ain't even thought about marrying this person, much less a child. We in it for the fun and the glory. Now, as you get older, you become a little less shallow, not a whole lot, but a little less shallow, and then you can do these things. But under the ignorance is bliss, because we all know where babies come from. We all know where they come from. They don't come from Sears. They don't come from Walmart. We know what they come from. And all them damn condoms ain't broke. But we take the condom off. Most people worry about STDs first. That's the biggest issue with most people. Because everybody think they got this pregnancy thing figured out with these street rumors. You can't get pregnant the first time. You can't get pregnant standing up. You can't get pregnant if you go pee right after sex. All this BS stuff that we keep hearing. Yada, 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 yada. Oh, look, here we go. Rick said, when we young as men, it's about the how many kids, right? And it ain't about the other stuff. My sister-in-law said when her tubes were clipped, burnt and clamped at 23 when she had the second child. And again, that's my point. After we had one, then we get a little bit smarter. But that first one, how many people plan to have their first child? Prior planning, not that you planned to after you figured you was pregnant. How many had sex with the intent on being pregnant for the very first child? Because most of us had a child in our 20s. We walk around with the S on our chest, or thinking that our pull-out game is strong, thinking that we got this clock thing, thinking we understand cycles. Women think they know their body. It's a bunch of BS going on. And it is part ignorance, because especially in this 21st century, in this age of information, getting pregnant now, there is really no excuse for getting pregnant accidentally. We know how it happens. We know what can be done to prevent it. Now, again, we're not talking about unicorns. We're not talking about that 0.0026% when birth control don't work, or that 0.09% when the condom break. We're talking about people who are actively engaged in unprotected sex. Actively engaged. How many sex partners, if we're honest, y'all who've been married 30, 40 years don't count. But for those of y'all who ain't married, how many people who got married in the last couple of years, how many people did you have sex with? One unprotected. Don't give me no crazy numbers, because I don't want y'all telling on y'allself. But how many of those partners did you really consider as life partners or potential spouses? Honestly. So in that respect, you knew you wanted to have your children before 26. Okay. All right, CK, we're talking about ignorance is bliss, and right now the subject is children. It's sex and parenting. Because guys having sex, they want the feeling, they don't want to wear condoms, but you don't want to have a baby with this woman. Well, not wearing a condom and enjoying that feeling, because that feeling that they enjoy leads to pregnancy. Oh, she can get on the pill. Well, it's a whole nother show. The pill messes up a woman's body because it's messing with her hormones. A condom don't mess with our hormones, but we'd rather her put herself at risk. So we want her to do all the damage to her body. What did my man say he gonna do for his 40th birthday? He getting a vasectomy. And guess what? Vasectomies are covered by most insurance companies.
That's right.
And I got mine. It was an outpatient surgery. He surprised me, but it said, come in here in the office. I'm like, in here with this bright light, you finna do it in the office? Dude, I want to go to a hospital. I want to be put under. I want the little naked robe with my booty out. I want, nurses, anesthesia. I want all this. In my mind, it's surgery. It's major surgery in my mind.
No, sir.
You know what I'm saying? but it did it like it wasn't nothing. I mean, by the time he was finished, I didn't even have enough time. Y'all know I like to scream for anything. I ain't have enough time to get my fake scream out of nothing. He gave me a local. He hit me with a local. Next thing I know, he told me I was done. Gave me an ice pack. Told me don't do no jumping. Don't do no heavy lifting. Don't have sex. Oh, it wasn't until I tried to sit up. Well, you'll know. Trust me, you'll know. Hey, cause bro, you ain't even gonna think about sex for like the first 4-5 days.
Oh yeah, I imagine.
Hey, you got that jock strap on, you got them ice packs, but you don't even want to do nothing. You don't even want to turn the TV fast, cause moving too fast. Oh man, and then all of a sudden, he gonna wake up and be like, all right, I'm ready, and that's when you know. But before that, he ain't gonna wake up. You be like, you'll see something that used to excite you. But be like, man, go back to sleep. We're not playing these games.
So maybe birthday isn't the best decision. Yeah. Maybe like Memorial Day.
So, but men want women to take all the responsibility when there's damage done to their body by taking these hormones. But we don't understand that because we don't know. And this is where, when I lead to my second subject, fellas, when you start talking about the woman's body and all these things, this is what I want y'all to do, because this is what I had to learn to do. Don't talk to your girlfriend or your spouse. Talk to another woman, because what we tend to do is when our girlfriend, our spouse, somebody's talking to us, we tend to not taking the information all. We keep coming up with what else. But ask another lady, what did the birth control pill do to you? How did this affect you? Listen to somebody so that way you can listen to hear, not listen to keep responding. Because someone will tell you when they got off the pill, how their body had to start trying to re-regulate itself because the pill was sending out fake hormones through her body. So now their body is out of kilter. See, we don't know nothing about that because we don't have these conversations because we choose ignorance, because we just want to have fun. We don't care what happened to our partner, even though we claim we love them. Well, a condom, oh, it hurt me. That condom don't hurt you. Stop the madness. You just don't like it. You just don't like it. But it don't do no permanent damage. Well, I don't know where that woman came from, but hell nah. Who was that? Who was that woman? That ain't even a woman. Damn, that's a dude. But we don't care. But so when we talking about this, and again, women are just as guilty as men. Very few people have picked the person that they wanted to have the first child with because that wasn't part of the conversation. So we can't keep saying do better or only have sex with people you want to have kids with or prepared to marry. It sounds good. But again, I'm going to go to my man on the hot seat. If you could only have sex, Iron, with women who you wanted to marry or women who you okay with having your kids, would your number still be 5? Because he only had sex 5 times. That's what we're sticking with. Would you have still had sex with 5 different women?
No, probably would have just been 2.
Right. But that's not the way we pick prey, is it, Rick? We pick prey based on what our loins tell us, not what logic tells us could happen, not what the end result may be. It's kind of like driving. Nobody gets in a car to drive to work worried about how many drunk drivers there may be. And we know there are a bunch of drunk drivers out there. But do we think about the fact that, hey, on my way to work, I could get hit by a drunk driver, so I'm gonna call in today? No, because we tend not to think about those things. Even though it's a reality, it could happen. That's just not what we think about. And so I just had to put that out there because somebody, told, y'all keep having babies, y'all gotta pick better. But sex ain't about having babies when you're under 40. It's about having fun. When you're over 40, it ain't about having babies because you really think you passed that most of the time, because more men are doing what Iron is doing and getting vasectomies. Most of us are doing that. And I ain't gonna speak for him. I'm gonna let him speak for himself. But selfishly, I did it for me.
That's exactly why I'm doing it.
I didn't do it for the woman.
Yeah,
I didn't
for nobody else.
I didn't want, my wife got pregnant after we had discussed not having kids. And when the relationship went left, she decided that having a child would make me stay because that's what her friends told her. I, being a loving and semi-decent husband, trusted my wife to take these birth control pills like she told me she was going to be taking. I'm cleaning up the house one day. I see 2 months of birth control pills. And because I'm a financial guy, my first thing was I'm upset. Why are you even paying for these pills if you ain't going to take them? Then I got mad about her lying to me because I'm thinking she taking them. But clearly she ain't took them in 2 months because she's trying to get pregnant. So you know what? As opposed to sitting back blaming her, accountability and responsibility, I had to blame me because one of us can stop this pregnancy thing. How can I make sure that don't nobody else get pregnant by me? I can get fixed. Now I ain't got to worry about whether or not she taking care of her end. I ain't got to worry about being a unicorn unless I'm that guy who all of a sudden got super sperm that come out of nowhere, and they tell you after a certain point you ain't even got to worry about that no more. So because they tell you even after you get the surgery to be careful the first, I want to say 3-4 months, because your sperm still may not be killed. So let's see. After a few years, man, I remember this girl told me she was pregnant. I just looked at her and started laughing. That's the best. That's the game you really finna try to pull on me. You'd have been better off saying you caught something. At least I might go for that one. I ain't going for that one either because I wasn't messing around at the time. But ain't no way in the hell I got you pregnant. So if you're pregnant, you got a whole lot of explaining to do. You got a whole lot of explaining to do. What's up, Danny Mac? Welcome to the show. I ain't seen you. I can't say I recall seeing you. Danny Mac, where you watching from? You don't have no nuts. You don't have no man. You see how dogs act. See, and that goes some of that urban myth. Sperm don't make you a man, bro. Never will, never have. All sperm do is make you a potential baby daddy. Baby daddy.
And after 40, I've drawn my line in the sand. It is F these kids going forward. I ain't having no more.
And but because there are a lot of guys who promote this crazy theory that Hirsch is promoting, it don't take your manhood. Lots of dudes have done it. Lots of them. Lots of them. Being a father makes you a man. You know how dumb that sounds? Being a father makes you a father. Lots of men have made babies. They don't make them no man. But see, that's that colored mentality. They think they got to keep procreating. Because if you can't afford to take care of your family, then you ain't a man just because you got a bunch of kids. But it's a bunch of dudes that we may not know personally. And this is going to get into the second part of this circle, who got all these kids, claim that they're a great dad, and at best they 4-day a month daddies. Oh, the Bible say multiply and be fruit. It's amazing how y'all pick out portions of the Bible, but you don't pick out the whole thing. You pick out the one little portion that you like that don't make no sense, and you try to stick with that. But I'm glad that I don't know a lot of people like Hirsch who says being a father makes you a man, because truly, if that's your thought process, have at it. But that's got to be one of the craziest statements I have ever heard. So you saying any guy who ain't got no kids ain't a man? That is stupid. That in and of itself is sheer stupidity. And I hate to call things stupid, but to put being a man on having a baby, because you can start having babies at 15. Some dudes can start having them as early as 14 or 13. That don't make them a man. That just means they producing sperm. See, girls can start having babies at 12. As soon as they had their period, that don't make them a woman.
And a lot of them are shamed for not having a child by a certain age.
Oh, Dana said she didn't want to take. Dana taking you to get your vasectomy. What about your legacy? Your legacy ain't got nothing to do with manhood. Nothing. What you leave behind, not who you leave behind, what you leave behind. Your name, your reputation, what you did for society. Just because a dude leave 20 kids behind, what is his legacy? That he's a shitty dude. Not that he's a great, oh, he left all these babies. He's a great dude. Said nobody ever. Nobody. If we poll people and ask them who had the most amount of kids ever, guess who gonna know? Nobody. Aaron, you young, you smart. What man had the most amount of kids ever?
Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard. But nobody knows because it don't do nothing. But how many kids did Martin Luther King have? You muted.
4.
How many did Malcolm X have?
2.
Marcus Garvey.
Don't know.
See, so people who we respect and admire, we don't know about their lineage. We know what they left behind for us to follow and admire. It had nothing to do with their children. Nothing. So to sit back and think that having kids is a legacy, which con? There's a ton of cons. Cons are just a last name for that. Genghis Khan, there's tons of cons. And what's Genghis Khan's legacy? That he was ruthless. Nobody talks about him being a father. Nobody. But to each his own. See, that's your truth. That leaving behind kids, whether they taken care of or not, means you're a man. That's kind of sad. I'm tired. It ain't even kind of sad. It's horribly sad. And this is where we get to our circle. There are times I make comments, and I know lots of good dudes. Again, Iron is here, so he on the hot seat. Iron, how many Facebook friends you got?
Too many. Probably over about 2,000 somewhere.
Okay, so he got about 2,000 friends. Now, I could ask Iron questions about his circle, and he can tell me, because most of the time our circle resembles us. So he may not know a lot of shady people personally, but when he look on Facebook, he can see a lot of shady shit. So when we make statements about things going on, there's no need to say, not me. It ain't about you. It's about the majority. Lots of us do the right thing, but more of us don't. And what social media does for us, when used in its purest form. See, I got 3 pages. So I got about 15, 20,000 Facebook friends. There's about 44,000, 45,000 followers on this page. I don't know these people. And I'm in like 200 groups. But you know what that does for me? It allows me to gain knowledge about the real world. Because in my circle of friends, I'm not going to hang around a bunch of undesirable people. But if I want to know what's going on in the real world, I need to get in contact with real people. I need to see what's going on. That was the great thing about being a cop. I got to see things outside of my circle. So, when I make statements about deadbeat dads, and everybody want to tell me about all the dads who paying child support. Okay, well, I ain't talking about them. I don't know nobody who ain't paying child support. Well, I'm going to call you out on that because I think you do. You just don't want to admit it. But we are a victim of who surrounds us. See, if you talk to a professional athlete, their circle is usually a bunch of rich people. They don't know nothing about minimum wage. They don't know about the struggle because they're not surrounded by them people. And guess what? Millionaires are unicorns, but in their world, they're not. Because they don't hang out with regular people. They hang out with like people. So there's some things that they don't know because they're not around them. We're the same way. If you only hang around your friends, you can't know how petty and trifling some people are because you never get a chance to see it. So when people bring up scenarios, quit saying not me. Unless they tagged you and called your name out, they ain't talking about you. When a woman tells her truth and talks about men who do stuff, don't act like we don't know men that do that. Oh, we can tell her to pick better, which goes back to what I first did to Iron. We don't always pick based on longevity or marriage or who's going to be a good father. We pick for other reasons. And men want to be kings and all this other stuff. So why should a woman have to pick better when the man represented himself as this great guy? Because men and women both will misrepresent themselves to get what they want. It's been going on since the beginning of time, because I ain't gonna use Aaron this time. I'm gonna use DVP. DVP has admitted there was a time in his life when he wasn't shit. And when I was in the dating world, I would tell women, I ain't shit, you don't want to mess with me. And they would laugh and be like, oh, you funny. I done told you who I was, and they still wanted to get with me. How many men go around and tell you up front they ain't shit? So once I tell you ain't shit and you choose to come on this ain't shit parade, I have no sympathy for you, because I've already told you. I was honest. Oh, I can't believe you did this. So when I told you I wasn't shit, what do you think I meant? Oh, I thought you was just playing. Who plays and says they ain't shit? I gave you your warning up front. I didn't tell you I'm gonna be the best person you're gonna ever meet. I didn't tell you you're gonna have loads of fun with me and we may end up getting married, because that wasn't where my mind was at. In my world, it was easy for me to tell you I ain't shit and you not have no expectations than for me to sit there and lie to you, babe. You might be the one. No, you might be the one for the night, but you're not gonna be the one long term, because my mind ain't looking long term. See, ignorance is bliss. Because I know lots of guys who told. I had a friend who was married. His wife was sick. She had a terminal illness. She was okay with him messing around because she was sick. And I watched him do it. He would tell women up front, I got a wife and I ain't leaving her. So don't think none of that. She come first. When she ain't feeling good, I ain't going nowhere. Couple on called me crying. Oh, he wanted. Hey, remember I was there when he met you and he told you his wife came first. Yeah, you know, they ain't having the best relationship, but that's because she's sick. But when she's at her sickest, he gotta be there. He ain't finna be out chasing coochie because that's what you want. He ain't finna spend holidays with you. He's a married man. You knew this up front. Well, I just thought, you thought what? That a married man was gonna spend holidays with you? That a married man was gonna go on a week-long vacation with you? When he told you all these things up front. All of them. Ignorance is bliss. But we want to change stuff, and we want to hold people to a standard that we don't even hold ourselves to. And you know, and that's why, you know, me and Iron are cool. That's why I could pick on him about sex, because when I saw the guy saying we got to pick better partners, that ain't how we pick. We don't pick partners based on not at 20 and 30. We don't pick them based on whether or not we want to have kids with them or whether we want to get married to them. We pick them on whether or not we think they're gonna be fun.
I mean, unless you don't have a lot of sex, I suppose. I don't. I mean, outside of that, like, just, you know, living in the real world, you know.
Right. But what's that phrase again? Living in the real world. The majority of people doing it for the fun of it, not for the longevity of it. Because as you get older, you start prioritizing things. You do start looking more for a life partner, or you start being more open-minded toward it. At 20, we thinking about tonight. At 25, we thinking about tonight and tomorrow morning. At 30, we thinking about tonight and this weekend. At 40, you start thinking more about tomorrow and 2-3 years from now. But most 20-year-olds don't have no 5-year plan. They don't have a 10-year plan. They ain't thinking that far ahead of time. As you get older, it's crazy. The shorter your lifespan gets, the more you think long term. That's when you start having a 20 and 30-year plan, which to me is crazy. But most 20-year-olds ain't got no 10, 15, 20-year plan. They ain't got that kind of time. They too busy enjoying life. They're too busy enjoying life. So we got to quit telling people to pick better. You know, I know Iron said he had a daughter or two. I know he got one. You got a son?
I had 2 daughters and a son.
Okay. So, you know, there's certain things we're going to tell our kids when we grow up about the choices that they make. But does he really expect, not hope, does he really expect that the first 2 or 3 people that his daughter or his sons are the ones he's going to marry? Does he really, you know, he can hope that as a, because his dad, that's who he hope. We want our girls to get married right off the bat because we don't even want the thought of them having sex in our mind, first of all. That's just something we never want to think about. And it's unrealistic, but we don't want to think about it. We know it's going to happen. We just don't want to. Even when she get pregnant, we try not, the baby came from Walmart. The baby came from Walmart. That's what we tell ourselves. We don't want to have no thoughts of it. But the reality is, she going to have rage hormones just like we did. That's what they do at 19, 20, 21, up until 30, 35. Them hormones is raging, boys and girls. Let's see, Rick says, me and my brother used to pick women by what we drinking at night. Vodka, light skin, Henny, dark skin. You stupid. Yep. You stupid, Rick. But that's reality. And, you know, I appreciate the people who want to say, oh, I got Mars. I appreciate y'all. I think y'all full of shit, but I appreciate y'all. Again, y'all are unicorns. Y'all are not the norm. I don't ever knock unicorns, but you can't let a unicorn way of thinking that you think that's the way life is. See, when I was a cop, I used to hate when parents tell me how good their kids are, because you gotta be in some kind of tunnel to think your kids don't curse. They might not ever curse around you, but I guarantee if you put one of them hidden microphones in their room and you go to bed, if they on the phone past 9 o'clock, they curse. It's just something about being up late at night that make you say, man, that shit crazy as hell. It ain't sexist, girl said, boy said. But if you in the room with them, they be like, man, this is the code word for that shit crazy. For real? That's what when teenagers say for real, that mean that shit crazy. For real? Oh, you joking. You joking mean get the F out of here. They can't say that in front of you. But when I'm working, I'm just a cop. They don't care about me like that. Oh, my child would never do this. Don't be delusional. They would never do it in front of you. You know, my daughter just joined the Army. She in AIT, you know, me, her mom, we was all talking, and she's like, man, some of these kids, they sorry as hell. Oh, my bad. You a soldier now. But even she realized, you know, that wasn't okay to say around us at the time. You know, we ain't that sensitive, but because she's still our child, she feels some kind of way about it. Like we don't know you curse. Oh, we heard you when you was fussing at that boy on the phone because you was kind of loud that one time. But the thing that she don't curse because we don't hear her or she don't do it in front of us, that's being purely naive. Am I still a cop? I still do work. I don't do it full time anymore. But being a cop gave me a lot of introspect into what was going on. Because if I'm hanging around good people or people who are about business, I'm not seeing a lot of shadiness. But when I'm out working and I hear these excuses and I see this and I see that, I hear a lot. I hear it all. I hear the excuses guys come up with why they don't do stuff, why they'd rather not have a job versus paying child support. Because they blame it on the woman. Because your big ass, she hit you over the head and took that condom off and made you get it. Said no man ever. I ain't heard no man complaining about her taking the condom off. But I have heard dudes talking about how when they went doggy style, they took it off to hit it from the back. And I ain't saying women don't take it off. I just ain't heard that story. But I have heard men telling stories about how they slipped the condom off. I even heard stories from a woman where she caught a guy doing it and she was like, how you know I ain't got something? And then well, what you mean? Because how do you know she ain't got something? Because I hear everybody everybody taking these tests, which I'm gonna call BS on. It. Oh, yeah, I always take tests together. Where you taking these tests at? Most of y'all ain't got insurance. Y'all just going to the health department, ask them to give y'all a test right quick. And I'm sure they give you results right then. It sounds cute. I don't believe it, but it sounds cute. So I'm gonna let you have that lie. Because I can't say you ain't doing it. It just sounds suspicious and shady to me. So when people are talking about stuff, look at your circle versus the world. Yeah, and everybody on Facebook ain't legit. But what it does is it gives you an outlook on more people than you in your inner circle. Because in real life, how many friends would you say you got in real life that you talk to on a regular basis?
3.
So what could he know about what's going on in the world? He either got to watch TV and get news, or watch some dumbass reality show, or come to Facebook to see what's going on, because you can see how some of these people move. You know, one of my friends said, man, he said, why is it everybody on Facebook asking the same question? Because they see a post and they just keep redoing it. The same post over and over and over again, because we lack originality. Anybody got their own questions? We just like repeating the same thing, so you get to see the same things over and over again, which is why I belong to so many different groups, because they talk about different things. And there are a lot of people who are honest to strangers. See, working in the club life, being a bartender, they teach you certain things. Total strangers will be totally honest with you. You know why? Because they don't care what you think about them. So they have no problems telling you everything. See, me and Iron friends. I can't tell Iron ain't shit, because Iron looks at me a certain way. And if I tell him something that he thinks is despicable, scenario, not real, but me and Iron, we sitting at the club drinking, and I be like, yo, Iron, man, I was with this little shorty last night. Man, she had a body, but she went with 15. Iron gonna look at me some kind of way if I tell him that. He was like, say that part again. I'd be like, yo, she had a body. And no, what was the part after the body? Oh, her being 15, man, if I wouldn't have did it, somebody else would have did it. Aaron gonna be looking at me. And then Aaron is gonna want to hang out with me a whole lot less. Cause he's gonna be like, man, this dude might try to hit my daughter. He ain't got no standard. So we watch what we say around people that we want to be in a circle with, because we don't want them to judge us. But when you don't care what people think, because I heard plenty of guys, and I'm sure Iron Ford, I don't know who we've been around yet, but I'm sure he's heard guys said, oh, she old enough to get it. She got a body like that. Somebody gonna get it. Might as well be me. And one of my friends put it as best I can put it. I seen a bunch of fine 15-year-old girls, because I don't know what's in the milk now. But ain't no 15-year-old, ain't no teenage girl nowhere that can make me do nothing I don't want to do. Nothing. Nothing. They ain't that strong. They ain't that big. I ain't that slow. So, but if that's your mindset, hey, don't let me catch you while I'm working, because I'm gonna lock your ass up. But you're a pervert in my world, and it's still illegal. So I got problems with that. But I seen too many guys who will approach that theory. You know, they don't mind messing around with certain women. Yeah, if you want to mess with somebody's wife, it ain't nothing illegal about it. And it ain't your wife, so you don't owe the dude nothing. And I get that too. I was that guy once upon a time. I messed with married women. I didn't make no commitment to her husband. She did. She gonna get somebody something I wanted, so I might as well get it. You know, karma this, karma that, whatever. But that's a choice. But it wasn't illegal. When you start doing certain things, you won't say certain stuff. But if you look in some of these groups, man, some of the stuff these people admit to, and you gotta sit back and you be like, damn, for real? For real? This is what we coming to? And you just have to accept that. But you have to know what your circle is. Your circle is a group of people who generally think like you think, or they at least talk like you talk. You know, they may have some shock value, because most of us got a friend that we associate with who we like to hear their stories, we like to hear their shock value. And sometimes we live vicariously through them. We don't invite them to the house. We meet them out in the street. We laugh. Here we going our way. We like, man, I'm glad I ain't that dude right there, because he ain't shit. But hey, some of them living their best life. And again, it's about gauging the world on your circle. Ignorance is bliss. You can't think that your 3 friends represent the views of men in the world. You got 3, so it's 4 of y'all. But when you start talking to total strangers and listening to conversation, you can say, damn, well, this ain't what we do. But based on the information I'm getting, this is a big thing. This is a big thing. You got to kind of accept that. And then when people say stuff, it may not apply to you, but you know where the thought process comes from. And that's why I said we got to get past the ignorance is bliss. If you don't know something, if you want to know about it, ask about it or join a group and learn about it. Just sit back and look and listen. You got a question, post a question and watch people answer. You know, I ain't finna get off deep into sex, but I'm in a couple of groups and I learned that there are quite a few men who like pegging. I ain't got nothing against them. It ain't for me. But there are lots of guys who like being pegged. And pegged is where you let the woman stick something in your anus. I hear you. I hear guys talk about the incredible orgasm they have and this and that. Well, some things I'm still got little hang-ups about. But that's me. I don't judge no man. Whatever makes you happy that don't infringe on me, it ain't against the law. But we can't keep using ignorance is bliss to get by with stuff. Oh, again, the fake scenario. Me telling Aaron that I like 15-year-old girls. Ignorance is bliss. I'm like, yo, man, you know that's illegal? Nah, I ain't know that. Because you don't know what the legal age limit is, because you ain't never looked it up. Because we don't want to know. Because if we find out something that we like is illegal, then we can't say nothing about it because now it's taboo. But if I never ask, I never know. So I keep doing it. Because I don't want to know. And sometimes we know something is wrong, and that's why we won't ask a question. We ain't gonna ask the question. Because we don't want nobody to tell us something, then now we can't say we ain't know no more. Man, I ain't know that. Well, I just told you, so now you know. Man, damn. So do that mean I gotta stop? That don't mean nothing. It just means now you know. That's all it means. You make your bad decisions on your own, but make them knowingly. Make them knowingly. And that's what we gotta stop. We gotta stop claiming we don't know something. Because if you don't know something right now, it ain't that big a deal to pick up a phone and ask your phone. It ain't that big a deal. Most of y'all phones, smartphones, got these little microphones. You can just say something. Hold on, let me just, we're gonna do a quick little test right here. Let me cut my little phone on. Let's see. Hey Google, is it okay to have sex with a 15-year-old girl? See, you can ask a question and it just starts giving you information. Bam, bam, all kind of information. All kind of information. Can a 15-year-old legally have? Yeah. Can a 15-year-old legally have sex? Essentially, you will be breaking the law if you have sex with someone who is 15 or younger. See, it's right there. But if I don't want to know, I ain't gonna ask that question. I ain't gonna ask that question. Oops. And how many people still got the analog phones now? How many people got the analog phone? See, one of them say, yes, you can. The question is, should you? Because it's illegal. But yeah, you can have sex with a 15-year-old girl, but it's illegal. So is it okay? Yes. Is it illegal? Yes. Kind of like cocaine. Is it okay to use cocaine? Yeah, it's illegal. Is it okay to break in my neighbor's apartment? It's illegal. So it ain't much that your phone won't tell you these days. Whether you got one of them Wi-Fi phones or whatever, it's there. And you know which one of your friends gonna tell you the truth. Because sometimes we seek the friend out who gonna say we want to hear, and we ask them. Make sure I clear. Hey man, I like Danny. She's funny. She told me to make sure I clear that from my Google search. Luckily, because of the work that I do, my Google search probably got a lot of crazy information because sometimes people say stuff to me that I don't know, and I honestly don't want to look through all my books. So I go to Google for a shortcut. But that's funny. See, just because she said it. Understand this, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to give y'all a secret tip about cops. If you put it in your phone and you delete it, there's nothing that's permanently deleted. Don't let the phones tell you something. There are methods that will pick up everything that's been on your phone for the past 10 years. Every deleted picture, every deleted text, every deleted post. Each and every one. Now, if you think I'm lying, research the case where the girl talked the guy into committing suicide. I forgot where it was. It was just on TV.
I think that was in Canada, or yeah, I think it was like
no,
Canada.
It was here. It was here.
It happened here.
Yeah, I mean not in Georgia, but it happened in the U.S.
Oh, I watch a lot of ID channels.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I remember seeing something like that.
Yeah, they went back and got everything from years that's been deleted because we can't get it, but there's technology for that. It should be illegal for you to waste time saying the same thing over and over again. I wish I understood what that meant. I tell you that back. I don't even wish I understood because I don't. But you can go ahead and tell me what it means, Ed Lampkin. But yeah. So when we get to this, you got to realize, where do you want to be in life? Do you want to be part of the have or the have-nots? Know what you're doing. Don't keep sitting back claiming you don't know this, you don't know that. Don't keep regurgitating bad information to try to make what you're doing okay. Well, other people do it. What does that mean? What does that mean? Other people kill people. What does that mean? Lots of people kill people. That don't make it okay. What does that mean? But can it be done? You know, my favorite example is when a little child breaks a window and the parents tell them, you can't go around breaking windows. Yeah, they can. You don't like it, but the window already broke. You can't tell them they can't break it. Just tell them what the consequences are behind them doing it. Because that's where the learning lesson comes in. But there are very few things that we can't do. But lots of things come with consequences. Okay, Rick said it was just in Massachusetts. Yeah, they released her early because it ain't against the law for you to tell somebody that. But, you know, so they're coming up with new laws. But yeah, that was on ID channel. See, if you're going to watch a reality show, watch the ID channel. What's the channel right above ID? Because watch Nat Geo, watch those reality shows, and you will see what's really going on. Let people quit telling you how messed up a certain group of people is. Watch these shows and realize there's a lot of things going on that our circles never talk about. A lot of things. But if you stay with the same nitwits all the time who keep regurgitating bad information, that's all you're gonna know. You're a victim of your own circumstances. And to know better, you got to reach out more. You got to expand your horizons. One of the main reasons I love Georgia and Atlanta in particular is racial. Don't care who know it. Atlanta is one of the few places, and I have traveled the country, but it's one of the few places where you can just be walking down the street and bump into somebody who's black and famous. And it ain't no big deal. I went to Houston, bumped into Tyler Perry. I went to Po Folks, bumped into Morris Day. I bumped into T-Bar. You just bump into people because it's just, you see people who like you that's got it. You're like, damn. But you go somewhere else, you don't even ever see nobody. Atlanta allows you the opportunity. And when you like me, you got kids. My mom always made sure I had a black dentist and a black doctor. No matter how far we had to go, she always made sure that that's what I had. Because you want to expose your kids to that. To let them know that even though we grew up in the project, understand you can get out the projects. There's a way out, and you got to be able to see that vision. So even though we may not know a lot of things in this information age, you can reach out and find a lot of stuff. You just got to want to. You can't keep sitting back waiting for people to push you there. You look at it. Me, Rick, and Aaron all watch the same program. We ain't discussed this at all. But we all know about it. So here's another racial statement. When people say dumb shit like we got to be like white people and always stick together, white people don't stick together. I don't know where y'all got that from. That's an ignorant statement. And you can see it every day that they don't. 45 should show you that they don't all stick together. But there is no time in history that any race has always stuck together. But it's a phrase we like to use when we want to get ahead. We got to stick. No, we don't have to stick together. All you got to do is get you a good team. Get you a good team. You don't need a good country. Just get you a good team. Y'all need to have a plan. Enforce that plan. That's it. That is it. If Roy want to make my JBN a great network, he needs Iron. He needs DVP. He needs everybody who part of this to work toward making that a better show. We don't need Ricky Smiley. We don't need Tavish Smiley. We don't need CNN. We just need to make sure our team is all pursuing that same goal. Oh, I need for Fox News to say this about us. No, we don't. And that's what we got to stop doing, thinking we need people who ain't part of our circle to help our circle. Get you a good circle, go forward. See, when you want to be a good dad, you reach out to other good dads and see what they're doing. Some of it you like, some of it you don't, but you got more tools on your tool belt. That's how you don't have to be friends with them. I can bring my circle to meet Iron's circle, to meet Roy's circle. We can all sit there and fellowship. Some people they gonna like, some people they ain't gonna like. Iron gonna mess around and like a couple of my friends. I'm gonna mess around and like a couple of his friends. But some of his friends, some of my friends, he gonna be But what we're doing still is exchanging information and ideas. You get to pick up something from a lot of different people that you wouldn't normally meet, which is what social media is. Because Aaron, how long you been in Atlanta?
Over 20 years.
How long?
I said over 20 years.
He been here over 20 years. Atlanta ain't that big a city. I've been here all my life with the exception of maybe 4 or 5 years total. I ain't never bumped into this brother. Never, ever. Rick been here, I don't know how long. Rick been married 29 years. I just bumped into him. But I met Aaron technically on social media. I met Rick through social media. A lot of people I met through this. And these are the boundaries where we can expand our horizons. I met Trina in a Facebook group. Who would have ever, if somebody would have told me my wife would have came from Facebook, I would have laughed at them. Much less a group. But this is how we expand our horizon and get things that we normally wouldn't have got. Some for good, some for bad. But either way, expand your horizon, expand your knowledge base. It's okay. That way you can stop being willfully ignorant and you can start using the hashtag accountable and responsible. See, when I got my vasectomy, accountable and responsible. It wasn't my wife's fault that she got pregnant. It was my fault she got pregnant. She couldn't have got pregnant without me. Well, let me rephrase that. I wouldn't end up with a son without me. So I had to accept some of that. Even though she told me she was on the pill, I was dependent on something else. See, when I want to make sure my rent get paid, what do I need to do? I need to make sure I got a job. I can't keep sitting around. Iron, can I borrow $1,500 a month? Can I borrow 15? And then when Iron ain't got $1,500, I'm gonna blame Iron because I can't pay my mortgage. Iron got $1,500, he just won't lend it to me, so it's his fault I'm getting evicted. Man, you know, if you don't lend it to me, we're gonna get evicted. So I'm gonna make him feel guilty because I'm irresponsible. And that's what we like to do. Oh, if I'd have had help with this, well, Iron, why you need help with child support? You didn't need help making a baby? Well, Iron, why you need help with this? Oh man, because I went out partying last night. I went mess around and ordered 2 bottles of this. So you had the money, you just blew it on something else. Yeah, man, but I was having fun. Okay. But D, what that got to do with anything, man? Let me hold something. You got it, you got this, you got that. We don't like to be accountable and responsible. And when the consequences come at us, we want to blame everybody else. As opposed to just saying, you know what, I made a mistake. I'm going to do better. Know better, do better. Each one teach two. I tell it all the time. But know better, do better needs to be our marching order. Because we're going to all make mistakes. There ain't no way of getting around making mistakes. When you make them, why are you making the same mistake 3, 4, 5 times? At that point, it's a choice. It ain't no mistake no more. Why do we do it? Why? I got this watch and can't tell time, ain't that nothing? We're gonna take another quick break. I need to get me something to drink and we'll be right back. You ready to get me out of here for a second, Iron?
Sugar Chateau Desserts is a specialty bakery located in the Charlotte, North Carolina metro area. We will create delicious and one-of-a-kind treats for any occasion. Sugar Chateau is currently shipping cakes in a jar, offering a variety of different flavors in a single-serve container that can help you celebrate in accordance with social distancing. Place your orders today by calling 803-526-7895 or visiting sugarchateaudesserts.com.
Q Time is our classic Atlanta soul food restaurant located in the historic West End. Q Time Soul Food is a family business started by Fred and Christine Crenshaw. Come on in, relax, and sink your chops into our tantalizing, mouth-watering, distinctive soul food with a twist, the Q Time way. 1120 Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard, or call your order in at 404-758-2881. Do you miss your mama's cooking? Then come on down to Q Time, an Urban Passport member.
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together, we can be the change.
What's up, man? We back. What's up, Christine? You know you're on the wrong page. Stop playing come around the thoughts. All right. And I think we down to the friend always asks me, why you wear a watch? Knowing I can't tell time. So we down to the last 30 minutes. Because the phone is for time. The watch is just to go with everything else. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can't see me, but to go with the silver earring, go with the silver in the bracelet. It's just some coordination. Who well watch the tell time for real? That's what they make digital watches for. This is just, can y'all tell what time it is? Exactly. So I can't even. Don't you say nothing smart, Ira. I hate young fellas. They always don't say, oh, it's 6. It was a trick question. It wasn't meant to be answered. Again, I enjoy this. I hate to allow him to give us his question. So I'm gonna see if Ira got a question for us for these last 30 minutes. You got a question, Ira? I know I caught you off guard.
Yeah, super off guard. I've not a clue of what to ask right now. I have nothing.
Dang. See.
Hey, well, let me have a production meeting back here.
Hey, you missed me tying the bow tie. I used to do it for every show. You know what? I'm gonna go on and tie the bow tie. Cause hey, you know, this one of them things, this one of them little classic things I just like having. Cause you can wear a bow tie with jeans, you can wear a bow tie with anything. It's just add a little extra kick, and it's always easy to just chill with it. You know, you untie it, and then you just hit that top button, and you still got that business swag about yourself. You know, this is when you're drinking adult beverages. This don't work drinking Kool-Aid. You know, this is when you show off. Okay. She said, should a marriage license expire and require renewals like a driver's license?
That'll work.
Oh, should it expire? No. I think it should be renewed. And I talked about this before, not in necessarily this context, but one of the things I think relationships should do when you're in a relationship, because who you are at the beginning of a relationship ain't who you morph into. Because when you're by yourself, you only got to think of one person. And that's you. When you get in a relationship, you got to start thinking for other people. And with that being said, some of your systems change. You know, you learn different things about the person you're with, and these things need to be updated on a regular basis. And I would say at least every 6 months. I prefer quarterly, but that may be a lot for a lot of people. And this is after the first few years, because you know you living in that limerence phase when you in love and everything is rosy. But for people who've been in long-term relationships, understand this. When you with a person and y'all learning from each other, a lot of things you like change based on who you're with. Whereas, and again, just random stuff. Are you a sports fan?
I indulge in a little bit of sports, yes.
So, and Aaron could love sports, or he could like sports. But let's just say he get with a woman who likes sports as much. He would learn to love sports even more, because that's something they could do together. Or, you know, I used to like taking rides by myself, just to clear my head. I've learned that what's up, Dr. Deb? I like going for rides with Trina. We just ride through different neighborhoods and see stuff. That's much better than riding by myself, because I still get to clear my head. We're not talking about nothing serious. So what is it you like doing? If you would ask me 5 years ago, did I like riding with people? I would have told you no, because they interrupted my peaceful time. But now part of my peaceful time is just riding with her. Sometimes we take the kids and we just ride to different neighborhoods and look at different stuff. But we just try to go somewhere different just to see something different. I like that. So I do think that you should ask questions. Part of the questions I always say, ask, when you're together, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite flower? What's your favorite food? What is, things that change. Ladies, fellas, and you ask the question of the opposite sex, it's like a little pop quiz. You give each other the paper, say, what is it that you think I like most about you? And find out, and I'm talking to Ira now, find out what you think your lady like most about you. But you answer the question, what does you think she like? And then ask her to see if y'all on the same page. Because what she liked in the beginning may not be what she liked 5 years later. She could have found something totally different in you to dote on, and vice versa.
I doubt that, buddy.
What you liked about her initially may change over time, because y'all get to know each other and some of the things change. And these are the things that we have to keep updating so that we stay current. Initially women can like roses. As they get older, they may like daffodils. Christina, you can't be on my page telling people you're a freak.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can do that. You can do that.
Where are my censor people? This show is supposed to be PG today.
I mean, that's PG. She didn't say what type. She just said freak.
Okay, Iron. Ignorance is bliss. How many different types of freaks do you know of? You know what I'm saying? She's a speed freak. She's anyway.
Maybe a candy freak.
I'm not even gonna play with now one of y'all. This is definitely not strong enough. But this is one of those things that I don't renew. I think it should be there should be a recommitment, because I do want to believe in the sanctity of marriage, even though I ain't never been able to sustain a marriage successfully. But I don't want to sit back and think that we can get married and every year we're gonna renew this or see if we still need to do it. Because that's kind of the process. You're supposed to work through all the things together and move forward. And with that being said, sometimes you have to accept the best thing you can do in a relationship is say bye. Sometimes that's just the way it is. Dr. Dale, why you on the wrong page? You see your thing in the background? Dr. Dale made me this, y'all. Random thoughts with DVP. See? But yeah, I mean, I think the relationship should probably go through that renewal process. Where are we headed? Are we moving forward? Are we staying here? What are we doing? But again, a lot of that depends on how honest you are in the beginning, because with the exception of Iron's 5, I said you're 5. I will say freely, there are girls I was in a relationship with that was purely sexual. That was all it was going to ever be. Sexual relationships theoretically are unsustainable. Because when you're not having sex, what else you going to do? And, I seen this, these people who swear they want to have sex all the time, every day. And I hear you. It sounds cute, but clearly you're not working. Because when you work, there are times you're just tired. Oh, I ain't never too tired to have sex. I hear you. It sounds good. Again, I'm thinking you don't have a real job, because some days you're just tired. Your mind can want to have sex, but you need sleep. You need sleep. I ain't going to say you lying. I'm just going to say you're a unicorn. That's what I'm going to say. You're a unicorn. And as you get older, you want to have conversations. You want to do little things together. You can't deal with Christina and Jess because they don't want nobody in the bed with them, because they want their space. And Christina want to do kung fu in the middle of the night. So if you sleep on her, she gonna kick you. And they want you to have your own house and stuff. But you need to see where you guys are headed, honestly speaking. Are you guys headed on the same path? Because sometimes you can love somebody, but you can end up growing apart still, because life circumstances will just take you in different directions. Because there are people that we have loved that we had to let go because we were just going in different places. It don't change the love for him, but you know that love ain't sustainable in a relationship type thing. One of my kids' mother, I still look out for her. I still have love for her. If she was in need of something, I would help her. If she just wanted something, whatever. But our relationship wasn't sustainable. Not as a couple. As co-parents, right on time. But as a boyfriend, girlfriend, not so much. As a husband and wife, no. You know, my last marriage, we was like, man, I can't believe you get why you ain't worked through it. I said, man, with my last marriage, I had two choices. I could get a divorce, or I could go to jail. I'm just thinking, divorce or jail, which one is a viable option? I think I can handle being in prison. I just don't see the benefits of it. Benefit of prison, benefit of divorce. Divorce won that one easily. What was I gonna go to jail for? Who was gonna win that one? You got something to say there? I have to watch Iron. He be slick sometimes.
That's a smart comment. It's fine.
Go ahead. You know I'm here for all of that. I ain't sensitive.
Oh, you were about to give the list of the pros to jail. I was just nothing.
So, but I do think that you got to have those things. Because too many times we rely on our loins to make decisions, relationship decisions for us. And, one of my big things is I don't want to be with a woman who I can't do nothing with and enjoy it. If I got to always be trying to entertain her, then clearly this is a job that I don't want. But if we can sit around and do nothing and enjoy each other, I got a winner. That may not work for Iron. That may not work for Roy. That may not work for Christina or Jess or Doug. We all got to find out in ourselves what it is that somebody brings out the best of us in, and what is the worst they bring out in us, and is that something we can overcome? Because we love our kids, but sometimes our kids drive us crazy, and we love them. So why would we think that a partner ain't gonna do the same thing? But we need to figure out what can we live with. At your worst, are you still somebody I want to be with? At Trina's worst, I still wanted to be with her. That was a clue for me. There's some other girls that I've dated. When they wasn't okay, I didn't want to be with them, much less they worse. I didn't even want to put up with some of them smart mouth. So why would I think I could sustain a relationship with her? So I think that's part of what we got to do. And then when you get married, like I said, the first year or two, unless it's tumultuous, it's kind of a waste of time because y'all still in that blissful stage where y'all think, the world revolves around y'all. You're having sex on a regular basis and doing all kind of other crazy stuff. Between year 3 and 5 years, you need to start having semi-annual updates to make sure y'all still on the same page, to make sure y'all still like the same things. I don't want to bring you roses home if now your favorite flower is tulips, but you never told me or I didn't pay attention to it. When Trina first met me, my favorite food was hamburgers. Now she makes a hell of pasta. That's my favorite food now. See, that's something that changed because of what she brought to the table. So it's little things like that you find out when you're in a relationship, because everybody brings something different, which is, we talked about this. I talked about this in another show I had did, that I'm gonna use Christina because she's the latest woman on here. But if me, Iron, and Doug both went out with Christina, there's a chance that we not all going out with the same. We're going out with the same girl, but the same girl ain't going out with us, and we're gonna all bring out something different. We're not gonna all enjoy the same experience. And sometimes we gotta realize that sometimes we caught up in the moment with something that we like. But I believe in serial dating. Date multiple women, find out what you like and don't like, and make an informed decision as opposed to making a decision of one. When you only got one something, that's all you know. When you got that little hoopty with no AC, it's a great car because it's your only car. But when your friend lets you drive his Cadillac, you don't want to keep driving your hoopty no more because this Cadillac rides smooth. It's got air shocks. It's got this. I think the same is true with dating. Date multiples. Start narrowing your options down. What up, Lee? You're on the wrong page, but I ain't gonna say nothing. And go from there. But after you get married, yeah, I believe you should go to counseling separately and together, because there's some things that you just don't want to say sometimes. no matter how honest we may say we are sometimes, nobody wants to hurt somebody's feelings. If you think you're going to hurt somebody's feelings, a lot of times we start censoring our conversation, whether we want to admit it or not. As honest as we may want to be, for us to be brutally honest, sometimes it's a mood thing. And we know this, but a lot of us won't admit it. Ladies, we love y'all. But sometimes y'all pick some of the ugliest outfits. And you know what men say to be politically correct and still be honest in our world? Babe, as long as you like it, I ain't got to wear it. That means it's ugly. That's what that means. Ebonically translated. Because when we like something, you know ahead of time. But when we tell you, hey, babe, if you comfortable with it, that means, okay, yeah. But we prefer that you wear the other dress that we always smiling about. But, you know, we don't want to hurt you. Iron, you know, I like picking on him because, like I say, he my guest for today. Iron has had a chance to tell a brutal truth to one of these 5 women, and he chose not to tell the brutal truth. He chose to tell, what's a good word? An inspired truth. Let me give you bad news, but not make it sound horrible. Would that be a correct assessment, Iron? You muted.
Yeah, that's cool.
Would that be a correct assessment?
Yeah, that's cool.
And I think that's what a lot of us do, because we don't want to hurt somebody's feelings that we're involved with or that we care about.
No, and then just as a man, you know, we was always kind of raised like, you know, you don't pick on girls, you don't hit girls, you don't push girls down, and that includes like verbally too. Like you don't pick on girls. Like if you know that outfit may not do it for you, but you never want to feel like you picking on your woman, especially if it's somebody that you're dating.
Especially your woman. And that's why I think it's always funny on social media when I see dudes trying to go in on women. Dude, you know what kind of shitty person you got to be to try to bring a woman down because of your insecurities? I mean, I watched, you know, any of y'all who follow Trina know how her pages go. But it's always funny to me how dudes always say to her, oh, that's why you single. You're going to always be single. And I'm like, what information did you give to make you think with all the lips, she can't have no man? And then, you know, if she tell him she married, oh, you run over him. Oh, he's soft. He did see that. Where you getting this from? I would never deal with a woman who talked back to me. And it's like, but you single, right? What that mean? See, you single because when a woman put up with you, but you want to judge her because her dude ain't that controlling or got that bigger ego. Because I've discovered a lot of dudes want to date puppies. Because I'm going to say this, and this may come across as racist as well, but hey, this is the honest show. When you date the average black woman, please know you're going to get some get back. They got a little spunk in them. They're going to say something that sometimes hurts your feelings. But for most of us, that's what we love about them. Because most of us don't want a puppy. Not the date. We like that fire. That's what gives them that. And when guys try to dog women because of that, just say that you don't like that. Just say you want a submissive woman who's 100% submissive, so you can be not shit and she won't call you out. Because see, that strong woman gonna call you out. When you slacking, she gonna call you out. She gonna challenge you. When you doing BS, but you don't want to be true to yourself, she gonna call you out. All of us ain't built for that. All of us ain't. And we want to, because you won't do the same thing when a dude said, but when a woman said, you got all kind of mouth. Because I ain't never seen too many dudes tell another dude that's why he's single. Why you feel the need to tell a woman that's why she's single? I would never date you. Well, she wasn't trying to get in your inbox no way, so you really didn't say nothing special. You're undateable. Like Jill said, if you can tell me what to do, you can tell me what to do. If you can't tell me what to do, you can't tell me what to do. Christine, I'm gonna need you to take a nap. You beside yourself today. But you know, that's what we gotta be. And it's okay. But for the average grown man, we're not trying to hurt nobody's feeling who in our circle. We'll do everything that we can, even if it means sometimes we gotta tell a half truth. because that's just the way most of us are built, not to hurt. And then we take that, most of us take it a step further, and we don't want to hurt women in general. Fellas, I'm talking to some of y'all, because y'all live for the fact to bring a woman down. And with my last, what I got, 7 minutes, I'm gonna say this. What was your favorite video game, Ira? Did you play video games?
Yeah, I did. Growing up, I'd probably say, Tecmo Bowl.
Tecmo Bowl. Did you play football in high school?
Yes.
How good were you?
I never got a chance to be too good.
But you was okay.
Got my wrist broke, and I found track and did that forever.
Did you ever have a woman hurt your feelings?
Yes.
And I'm using these examples because I'm tired of seeing people complain about who emasculates you and what TV is doing to us. Most of us played Tecmo Bowl, and a lot of us never played football. It's a video game. Most people can know the difference. A lot of people play Grand Theft Auto. I ain't never stole a car. Never. We listen to some of the raunchiest rap music and ain't never did none of that stuff. If your life is so disturbed that something you see on TV or a video game can make you do something or make you lose pride in yourself, you got a whole separate door of issues. You got a whole separate group of issues that can't be solved by normal people. You need to seek counseling. If seeing Lil Nas X get lap dances from the devil or whatever, if that bothers you to the point that you're going to do something, you got issues. It's called entertainment. If you can't separate reality from entertainment, it's not the TV that's bothering you. It's your own mind, because you're easily influenced. See, when we say dumb stuff like white people don't do this, we say dumb stuff like, oh, every time I see a man, it's emasculating us. Well, it's a whole country where men wear skirts. Them men fight like champs. What happened? Ain't none of them walking around like this. Y'all seen that movie that I don't like, but y'all all into this Wakanda theory. Wakanda don't exist, but everybody doing the Wakanda thing. And is y'all missing Wakanda where the women were warriors? Kind of like America, where the women do all the fighting and the guys just sit back and hope the women defend them. I think that's why a lot of guys unconsciously like that movie. I'm just trying to figure out where you're coming from with this whole emasculation thing. Because, Aaron, you've seen guys who like guys, I'm sure. Did it make you feel like putting on a dress?
It does not.
You seen it on TV, right?
Yes.
Did it make you feel like putting on a dress?
Not at all.
Did it challenge your manhood?
It did not.
And I'm just trying to figure out why every time we see something that ain't our cup of tea.
I think we're not. I think a lot of, in our community, I think a lot of Black men are not used to that imagery. Lil Nas X reminds me a lot of Black version of Marilyn Manson. And it was like a lot of stuff that Marilyn Manson would do. It was very risque, and it was, crazy, but it was rock and roll. And that's, to me, that's what I see when I look at Lil Nas X. It's just rock and roll.
But even when you say it ain't what we do, and I would disagree, because you're 40, so you missed out on the Flip Wilson era. But Flip Wilson dressed as Geraldine. Eddie Murphy did it.
Eddie did it. But it's still moving the goalposts now.
Right, but I'm saying,
keep that in mind.
But I'm saying, so it ain't like we ain't seen men dressed as women. And who did it emasculate? They were portraying a character, or whatever was real to them. How does that affect what you do?
Because it's rock and roll. It's the eccentricity of it. It's the in your faceness of it, and it rubs people the wrong way, and they have loud and louder opinions about it. And you're exactly right. You don't like it, turn it off.
All you do is remote control.
It's fine. I mean, it's not.
And that's why I don't get how you can sit back. Oh, they're gonna do this. They're gonna do this. How? Does the TV really control you or your life that much? Does the
Yeah,
TV
I
have?
take my 16-year-old to school often, and I've yet to see any boys coming into the school wearing a dress pretending they're pregnant or anything like that. I haven't seen that, so I don't think it's that as big a deal as people make it.
Right, but it's one of those things that we like to harp on to try to make a point that ain't valid. Oh, this gonna do this. Well, as a parent, it's your job to override some of that. See, I got a friend, and one of the things that he does, and I absolutely love, and I keep saying I'm gonna do it, but I lie to myself. They got one TV, and it's in the living room, so he controls what his kids watch. And he says he's tried to set aside an hour or two every day so they can watch TV together because he want to know what they watch. And if something controversial come on, he want to be able to discuss it. I like that whole thought process, except sometimes I don't want to watch TV with them. Because sometimes, as we like to say, they want to watch trash TV. I'm okay with that. Sometimes I watch trash TV. And that's okay. So, I just wanted to put that out there. This has been Random Thoughts with DVP. I'm your host, DVP. It's almost time for me to call it a day. I want to thank Iron for doing such a great job and participating in the show while Roy was over there doing nothing, just sipping on his tea. Hold on. Lee says, I remember Michael Jackson grabbed his crotch and busted car windows in the 80s. Right. And who started doing that just to
people
represent
went
him?
crazy.
Right. But how many people started busting their car? I mean, we was grabbing our crotch way before him. But again, we like to be overly dramatic about stuff. I appreciate y'all for spending y'all time with me on a Wednesday. I'm gonna do this again next week. All things willing. If you got something you want me to talk about, inbox me or inbox one of my team. Ain't much we won't talk about, but give me time to get somebody or do some research if I don't know. But I promise we'll get to you. If you want to be a guest, shoot me an inbox. Tell me what you're passionate about. I like having guests on the show. I like having a good back and forth. But just coming on here just to say nothing, nah, that's not gonna happen. Because I'm gonna go to your page and see if you got anything that requires independent thinking. If you just a sheep waiting to get slaughtered, then I ain't gonna let you be on the show. Just being honest. So with that being said, I want to thank Iron. I want to thank my JBN, where they let me have uncomfortable conversations. They participate with me, and this is what we do. And as Dr. Field once said, we got to stop talking about topics and deal with the issues behind the topics. That's how we can get to be better as a people. We got to know better in order to do better. And we got to accept the fact that mistakes are going to be made. One of the best posts I seen last week was, hey, it's okay to forgive your parents. They were new at this too. They didn't make mistakes on purpose. Like you ain't making mistakes with your kids on purpose. It's okay to forgive them. They were doing the best they could with what they had. We got more. We got to do better. Kristen, I ain't messing with you. I still ain't never got my cake, but that's a whole nother show. So I'm gonna be back next Wednesday. Hopefully Aaron will be here, and we got some things we're gonna discuss. If somebody tell me how you like the show, tell me how you could think I can make the show better. Don't just tell me you like the show. Tell me how we can make the show better. All right, that's what I want to do. But until then, Aaron, you got something you want to tell me what you got going on this week?
We have a game in Tuskegee. We have a game in Savannah State this weekend as well. And we also have to get an announcement coordinated with you about future guests that you're going to be having on your show.
Uh-oh. Surprise, surprise. All right, so y'all know what it is. I'm DVP. This is Random Thoughts. Until next week, y'all know what it is. Peace, popcorn, and chicken grease. And we out.